Hey guys, let's get more news about Dallas Cowboys, but first, don't forget to subscribe and leave your like. There is little doubt who will be the Dallas Cowboys starting quarterback, as Dak Prescott is expected to be fully healthy in time for training camp. The real question is who will be Prescott's new backup, with Cooper Rush and Trey Lance both departing Big D during NFL free agency. Dallas acquired Joe Milton in a trade with the New England Patriots this offseason. Yet, not everyone is convinced that Milton will win the backup role. Athlon Sports' Mike Fisher's latest Cowboys depth chart surprisingly has Milton as the Cowboys' third-string quarterback. The Cowboys insider believes it will instead be Will Grier who is the new Dallas backup quarterback. The big watch here is who will back him, Prescott, up, Fisher wrote in a May 19, 2025, story titled, George Pickens leads new Cowboys 53-man roster projection. Grier returns to the Cowboys still under contract, but has seen very little time away from the practice squad. He does have familiarity with the building over sophomore stud Joe Milton, however, who was acquired in a trade with New England earlier this offseason, Fisher continued. The former Tennessee Volunteers standout quarterback entered the NFL with plenty of promise, especially after showing off his impressive arm strength during the pre-draft process. Yet, Milton slipped to the 6th round of the 2024 NFL Draft before the Patriots stopped his slide. Here is how NFL.com's Lance Zierlein described Milton as a pro prospect. Rare physical specimen with the proverbial arm talent to make all the NFL throws, but he's prevented from doing so by a lack of timing, accuracy, and touch, Zierlein wrote in his pre-draft profile of the quarterback. Milton is gifted with a cannon for a right arm and can throw the ball as hard or as far as you want. His fastballs are often inaccurate and difficult to catch for moving targets, and he was wildly inconsistent locating his deep throws. He can elude pressure, extend plays, and put jaw-dropping highlights on tape, but he's never been able to mature his game from splashy to consistent. Given the Cowboys' push to trade for Milton, it would be a surprise if the quarterback is not given every opportunity to win the backup job. Head coach Brian Schottenheimer sounds like a major fan of Milton. I was excited about Joe before we got him, Schottenheimer explained on May 21, per The Athletic's John Machota. When you go into these deals and you're talking about making trades, we all reach out to people that you know, people that you trust, people that have been exposed to said player at college, different programs, friends that have been around him. But from the time he's been here, the work ethic is incredible. He's one of the first people in the building. He's one of the last to leave. The way he's attacked the playbook and picking it up has been incredible. And it's been fun for me to watch Dak and Will, but really Dak take a mentorship role with Joe. Dallas Cowboys offensive lineman Tyler Smith is entering his 4th season with the team and has certainly lived up to his first-round draft selection back in 2022. The All-Pro is still only 24 years old and already considered one of the best guards in the NFL. The Cowboys exercised Smith's 5th year last month, keeping him in Dallas until the end of the 2026 season. If things remain as they are, he'll make about $21.27 million in that season. Dallas has bigger plans here, of course. Smith will have a chance for a huge payday, and our Mike Fisher projects that he could become the highest-paid offensive lineman in NFL history if he continues his stellar play. Smith is an Iron Man of sorts as he eats up snaps, and he's a stud in most every way, Fish says. Dallas hit the jackpot here. That $20 million range would already place him among the highest-paid guards ever. He projects to be up and over that. How about a 5-year, $100 million extension, Jerry Jones? Smith displays consistent high-level play in the trenches, and not only is he poised to get richer, the 2-time Pro Bowler, still just age, also might be getting better. With head coach Brian Schottenheimer and offensive coordinator Clayton Adams looking to deploy a dominant rushing attack, Smith is the type of player you need along the offensive line. The Cowboys would be wise to try and keep the 6'6", 330-pound Fort Worth native Smith on the roster for years to come. For someone who hasn't even entered his physical prime yet, Smith will only continue to seek his sky-high ceiling. This season Smith will likely prove he is a top-3 guard in the NFL, and the Cowboys should prepare to open their pocketbooks for him next summer, maybe to the tune of $100 million. The Dallas Cowboys have had a very active offseason compared to their usual approach with acquiring new players. The front office brought in 14 new faces compared to last year's squad, with 4 of the 14 coming over via trade. Before Memorial Day weekend, NFL reporter Jeremy Fowler was on SportsCenter Friday night and gave an update on where things stand with Miami Dolphins cornerback Jalen Ramsey. The former All-Pro corner has been the center of potential trade conversations this offseason as Miami may look to hit the reset button on its roster. The Los Angeles Rams have long been considered a potential landing spot for their former teammate, but Fowler mentioned the Cowboys as a team to watch if Ramsey was actually made available. It is not unusual for the media or agents to tie the Cowboys to a high-profile player. This can give the player more momentum as they look to move to a new situation and try to widen their pool of options. One of the biggest factors in Ramsey's not being a viable option for Dallas right now is that the Cowboys have invested resources into the corner position this offseason, whether through trades, re-signings, or the NFL draft. When the Ramsey rumor started to circulate on Twitter, a few respected media members who cover the team shut down the idea almost immediately. Brian Broaddus doubled down on his report when he appeared with Jeff Kavanaugh on their Trust the Tape podcast on Monday morning. "I think the Cowboys just got tagged on this one. This is just talking to folks during the week. I know that Ramsey was a name that people were throwing around and there's a possibility of him being a June 1st. The Dolphins were talking about potentially trading him and they walked that back. They say, well, no, we're not gonna trade him. But I know on the Cowboys end I think the Cowboys got tagged in something because of the Cowboy name, and how the Cowboys have gone through their offseason, but talking to people over there, it just doesn't seem to have any legs on it right now." For anyone who went into the weekend excited at the chance Ramsey would be joining the Cowboys, that does not seem like a possibility right now, especially on his current contract. As Broaddus mentioned, if Miami releases the cornerback after June 1st, it becomes a different conversation. However, Ramsey will be a free agent, and 30 teams will be able to pursue his services. Dallas might not want to spend their remaining cap space on an aging player when Micah Parsons, Darren Bland, Tyler Smith, Brandon Aubrey, and Jake Ferguson are all coming up for extensions. The Cowboys are excited about what third-round pick Siobhan Revel Jr. can bring to the team this year when he's healthy, and they have spoken highly of Kaiir Elam's progress so far this offseason, whom they acquired via trade. If Dallas does go after another cornerback before training camp kicks off, it would probably be via the free agent pool and for a player who will not cost as much, like Stephon Gilmore.